guys, James here again. It's another week for Ask the Doctor. This week I only got 4 questions from 2 different sources, which is fine. That's cool. Questions are questions. I'll answer them. I'll answer whatever I get. If that's just 1 question I get a week, then maybe we'll answer just 1 question. It's a big question or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it'll last a minute. But anyways, got the book of questions right here. Everybody's favorite. Everybody loves it. So we're going to get into it right now. First 2 questions are from Jason M. His first one is, Blueberry or Frankenberry? Yeah, it's that time of year, isn't it, where the monster cereals come back. And I tried them a couple years ago, but I thought they had a texture of cardboard, tasted like cardboard more or less, with like a little bit of flavor, but didn't really do it for me. I'm not that much of a hipster where I'm going to get the monster cereals I just wanted to try them, and I don't know if I don't want to recommend any of them. I mean, it's definitely a seasonal thing, but just I didn't really like them. I will give Frankenberry the ups because I like strawberry, and even though it's like kind of it's still a little bit of strawberry, and the blueberry didn't really do it for me. So yeah, with a lot of trepid recommendation, I'm not fully enthusiastic about it. I'll go with the Frankenberry in this one over blueberry, but monster cereals are not my thing. The second question is, do you think nudity is sexuality, or can it be beauty? Oh, you forget. You forget, guy. I went to college for art. So for 4 years, I was drawing nude models. So, the whole, frat boy ideology of, a naked woman, this has sort of lost on me. I wouldn't say it's beauty, but more, the human figures is beauty. It's more of a human figure, more an object to draw, but then again, my love status is the way it is, and I've never really, been in that situation. But it also depends on your purpose too, obviously. Like, I've never been in that position where nudity is a form of sexuality or even love. It's just nudity is just something. It's just like an apple to draw for me. But it is what it is. And I mean, I've rarely seen movies where, besides art films, where nudity is a form of art or beauty. I mean, mostly, obviously, if it's in a movie, it's there for shock value or, express erotica or whatever, or to stimulate you or whatever. But for me, it's more beauty. It's more releasing yourself and taking your trust issues and putting it in someone else by taking it off or whatever. Trusting that person's not going to do anything. Is going to take for your intimacy or whatever. But yeah, like it's less sexuality for me, more objet d'art or beauty for me, I guess. Okay, the next 2 questions are going to get a little dark. It's going to go to a few places I don't like going to. I've talked about it a lot, more or less, but I don't like talking about them, but I will. So the next 2 questions are from Sean S. The first one is, do you forgive your father for his abusive ways, understanding that he had a disease? Well, obviously, I've talked about my father and his losing battle with alcoholism through the years. Uh, he was sober from '89 to, I want to say, '97, maybe very early '98, and he was a very good man during that time. He, he was definitely a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde person with when it comes to alcohol, but late in the last few months after I left, we used to talk about it during texting or a Sunday conversation, and I asked, he's apologized. He used to apologize in that break too, about his abusive ways or whatever, and I forgave him. In one of the last conversations we had, like 2 or 3 weeks before his passing, he's apologizing for his his driving me away because of him being an alcoholic and whatever, but he understood why I had to leave because he understood, so I forgave him like a little bit before his death, and and any other time he apologized for it, but I don't really forgive him for it, but I wouldn't say it's forgive. I understand, but I mean, it might be more pity because obviously, if you go and do it straight to your grave, it's I don't know how I can explain it. I mean, I do forgive him, but it's hard to talk about and it's hard to think about it a lot of times. I have forgiven him, but it's really hard for me to say that. So he did put me through a lot, which is brings me to the next question from Sean S. What sort of abuse were you subject to? Okay, when I was a child, basically, payday. My father's payday was bi-weekly, so it would be one of two things. He'd either come home from work and it'd be like a pizza night and everything go well and good, or he wouldn't come home right away from work. He'd just be out for whenever, and those were the nights that were kind of scary because he would come back and like some little trigger, a little like say. It was commonly schoolwork that set him off, because I was a B minus. I wasn't an A student. I was a strict B minus C plus all the way, and when he was drunk, it wasn't acceptable enough. So why can't I do better? I don't know. Was never a good answer. Was never an acceptable answer for him. Trying as hard as I can. Wasn't a good enough. So, it would be a lot of verbal abuse, and sometimes when when the verbal abuse was going on enough, it would blaze like a stick of dynamite, and the belt would come out, or he'd hold you against the wall, or throw you against the wall, or hold you on the ground or whatever, or like just smack you around. A lot of things set him off when he was drunk, like say me hanging out with neighborhood kids. There was one day I had to stop it because my father just oh, if you like them so much, maybe you ought to go live with them or whatever. I think that's a good idea. No, and it's just alcohol just gives you weird a weird point of view. That's why I didn't drink it for so long in my life. It's just, and it'd just be like little things that would set him off, that would just cause like the verbal abuse or the physical abuse. I just I wasn't. he was a monster when he was drunk and angry. That, obviously. My adult years, I got a little bit more physical because I'm a bigger person. So he would like say, "Oh, you think you're bigger than me? You can take me down?" And basically, he'd push me to the ground or whatever. Because I am a gentle giant. I'm not gonna. I wasn't gonna do something to him because what I was doing with my life wasn't good enough for him. Basically, my adulthood, after we started drinking again, and even though I was paying all his bills, I was giving him a stipend because I wasn't in the art field and I wasn't making a lot of money where he could retire into his late 40s and I could support him the rest of his life. He wasn't happy with it, and he would let me know that when he was drunk. It'd be I'd be sleeping and he'd come in the middle of the night screaming his head off. I had to be up at work at 6 in the morning or whatever, and he would just go on a tirade for 2 hours or so until one night I just had enough and just grabbed him in a bear hug and just held him up for 3 minutes. He did not like that at all, but kind of it got to after that it was more like when he started yelling, I'd be like, "Go to bed," and he'd go to bed. But a lot of things in my life I wasn't good enough for him, and it is what it is. I mean, it's bad enough when you have to have that deal with that at school with people. You have to come home and deal with once every 2 weeks maybe your father was an angry drunk and he would let you know that you're also not good enough at home. So yeah. Okay, those were the questions for this week. Thanks a lot for watching. My apologies for not, writing a text. It's kind of hard to, talk about this, let alone go back and write a subject heading for it. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions for next week, please go through the normal roads and I'll answer them. Thanks for watching, and maybe we'll have happier questions next week.